Hey, this is Peter Dankelson from Pete's Diary. Welcome back to this Rig Rundown series. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about my 2018 Les Paul Tribute Gold Top. So the story behind this guitar is pretty cool. So for my 18th birthday, well, it was getting close to my 18th birthday. And, you know, at the time, the only guitar I had was my SG Faded. So it was just that guitar. And so I always loved, you know, the Les Paul, especially at this point, in fall of 2018, you know, huge Slash fan, was listening to all the Conspirators records and Guns N' Roses, Snake Pit. You know, I was really kind of digging into all of Slash's work. And this was really cool because this whole day I'll never ever forget. In the morning, woke up for school in the morning, and it was the day that Slash's Living the Dream album came out. That's such a great record. I got up at 5:30 in the morning just so I could, you know, digest the album a little bit before going to school. And it was great. You know, Call of the Wild was like one of my favorite riffs. It's like just one of my favorite Slash riffs, and the whole record is fantastic. So, you know, I got to listen to that record in the morning and kind of digest it a bit. You know, was blasting it through my hearing aid going to school. So, you know, already, you know, off to a great start, right? And that particular day, I remember, you know, I do a speaking, you know, motivational speaking and all of that. So I do remember this day, I was going to leave school early, you know, before the weekend. We were doing some speakings in Indianapolis, you know, that weekend. So, you know, got to leave school early, you know, I was listening to the record over and over in the car, you know, digested it. And, you know, and if you know Indiana, Sweetwater Sound is in Fort Wayne, but also about 20 minutes away from Fort Wayne, I have family that lives in Columbia City. Basically, you know, my mom's family is all in that area. So it's great because, you know, if I ever, you know, go see family, I can go to Sweetwater. So, you know, it's awesome that everything's so close. But point being, you know, I remember, you know, we're heading to Indianapolis, and of course, you know, we stopped by Grandma and Grandpa's, and, you know, we're talking to everybody. And I do remember, heading from their house to Indianapolis, and Sweetwater's on the way, and I do remember, you know, there's a phone call, and Dad's on speaker, and they're dropping hints like, oh, you know, your 18th birthday's coming up, right? Da, 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 da. And it's like, oh, you've always seemed to, you know, really been interested in the Les Paul, and, you know, you'll stop by Sweetwater, and it's like, oh, okay. So stopped by Sweetwater, and I played a bunch of different guitars, and I fell in love with this Gold Top. And actually, I think it was exclusive for the tribute line. I think the Gold Top was an exclusive to Sweetwater, so that was pretty cool. So, you know, I ended up walking out with my first Les Paul. You know, got to jam on it all weekend in Indianapolis, and couldn't wait to get home and start learning the new Slash record on it. You know, it was, so I mean, yeah, I got my first Les Paul on, you know, the same day Slash put out one of the Conspirators records. So, you know, it was a pretty good day. So yeah, that's a pretty exciting story, something I won't forget. So this is actually the only guitar that I've ever modified. You know, talked about how, you know, was in a really big Slash craze, you know, my senior year of high school. Basically this is the only guitar I've ever modified. And the only modification is I think it came with the 490 pickups, which are, you know, those are my favorite, and they sound great, but, you know, I'm like, I don't really want to get the sound Slash has, and, you know, I'm like, well, let's do the pickups. So I bought some of Slash's Seymour Duncan's, you know, the Alnico 2s, and put those in there. And that's the only modification I did with this guitar. And they sound great, you know. It's got a great, you know, rock and roll tone. So, yeah. So yeah, this is the only guitar that I've ever modified or changed anything on. And that's just the pickups. And also, you know, something else too that I did for a while, I took off the, there's some photos of it when I was, because I used this all, like, you know, for all the school rock shows I did and stuff at that time too. I took the pickguard off. I know there's some photos of it for a while, but then I put it it back on not too long ago. So, you know, it was pickguardless because, you know, again, Slash with the, you know, without the pickguard and the open pickups and all that. I was going for that look. But I actually kind of like it more with the pickguard on. So, you know, there's that kind of thing. So yeah, there was some little, some changes to it, but nothing too crazy. So kind of the, you know, one of the things that makes the Tribute unique, if you're not, you know, familiar with these guitars, right away you can kind of tell it's got the dot inlays instead of the typical, you know, I guess what would you call it, like trapezoid inlays. What else? Well, the big thing is it's weight relieved. So that's nice because I talked about it, you know, with the other Les Paul, but, you know, I love Les Pauls, but, you know, for me, they're a bit of a backbreaker because I'm so small. So the weight relief in this is definitely, you know, it definitely makes you know, it's definitely easier on the shoulder. But I don't know, I think it loses some of the sustain a little bit. But yet it's still got a unique voice, kind of all on its own. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. I don't know, you know, it's still got a really cool sound. And, you know, I hadn't used this guitar for live, at least for a long time. And I actually, it was the St. Patrick's Day show just recently at the House of Blues in Chicago. I took it down there because I'm like, you know, for St. Patrick's Day, like, you know, pot of gold, you know, gold top. I was like, oh, that's cool, you know. And then, you know, the other factor, of course, was I hadn't used it live in a long time. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's take it. And it was really fun. It was fun to use this guitar because I don't think I used it live since, like, I was in School of Rock. So, yeah, it was fun to take it back out. So, you know, overall, with this guitar, it holds a lot of really fun memories for me. You know, with it being the first Les Paul, and just, you know, the coincidence of the, you know, that Conspirators record coming out, you know, all within the same day. You know, it's a fun day to look back on. It's a fun memory to have. And, you know, with the guitar, you know, I'm definitely going to try and sneak it back into live performances. It's got a really fun sound. It's got a cool, bright, unique voice. And, you know, with the weight relief, it's definitely not going to kill my back. And, you know, if you are looking, you know, for Les Paul that is lightweight, you know, not as expensive as, you know, the standards, this is definitely a really good, you know, alternative to check out. You know, if you're in a store, you know, definitely pick one up and try one out for yourself. So, yeah, so that pretty much wraps up everything on this guitar. Still got a few more to go. So, as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.